Welcome to this tutorial on inheritance. We will just carry on where we left off with object-oriented programming. The previous tutorial, what you did was to create classes which were view models for the cat interface as well as the dog interface. You then use that view model to, through Razor, show the information in a table. Okay, so something that you should notice is that when we look at the cat table and when we look at the dog table, there are three properties that are commonly shared between the two types of animals. That is age, name, and breed. So in the cat case, in the cat view model object or class, life count is the unique property, and with dog, the ease guiding dog property would be the unique property, but the other three are actually shared. So as you would know if you attended the class, that this is exactly where inheritance comes in. Why would we repeat the same effort to define members in the cat object as well as the dog object if we could just abstract these members into a base class, into a more abstract class, and then have cat and dog inherit from that class, and they then don't have to individually deal with these three properties. That can happen once in one abstract class. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do that. So let us go over to our code. This is the source code from the previous tutorial. You can find that available on ClickUp. And here we have our cat view model, which is exactly the way it was in when you ended off with that tutorial, and the dog view model. And as I said, you've got a private int age, a private string name, and a private string breed in the dog view model, and you've got exactly the same members in the cat view model. And then again, you've got the properties that deal with that in both of these classes. So how could we apply inheritance so that these variables, these members, could actually just be abstracted and dealt with in a higher level class? Well, it's simple. So first of all, you right click on whatever folder. In this case, I'm just going to use the view models folder. I'm going to go add class. In this case, I'm going to just call the class pet, because I guess that's the more general term that the cat and a dog would fall under. So I just go ahead and add that class, and here we have our class pet. So what I'm actually going to do is to just go to one of these view models and directly copy these members or cut these members out, because these are the ones that we need in our base class. I'm going to go down and also cut out the properties, bring them over as well. Okay, and then I'm going to go and create a constructor. I'm going to use the shortcut code snippet generator. So I just type in ctor and then I hit tab twice, and there we have our constructor. And this is going to be a parameterized constructor so that we can assign initial values for our data members. So we will take in an age, a string name, and a string breed, and our data members will be set equal to the parameters that are passed in. So here we have name, and then we have breed, and there we go. This is our parent class. We aren't doing any methods at this stage. Over the next 2 weeks, we will be looking at inheritance with methods as well, and how powerful inheritance becomes when you look at functions or methods as well. So for this tutorial, we're just looking at members. Okay, so here we can see now we no longer have age, name and breed dog view model, so it doesn't make sense to declare it in the constructor. Okay, so we've got this dog view model. At the moment it doesn't inherit from anything. It is just a standalone class, and when you instantiate this, the only variable that it can save is the is guiding dog. So how do we make use of the more abstract class? We apply inheritance. So you do that by going colon and pet, and in this way the dog view model inherits from pet, and immediately you see there's a little red squiggly line under the constructor of dog view model, and the error there is no argument given that corresponds to the required formal parameter age of pet, pet.pet, which is the constructor of the pet. What happens just before the dog view model is created, or on the creation of the dog view model object, when an instance of the dog view model class is created, there is also an instance of the pet class that is created, and the two are bounded by an inheritance relationship. But where we actually go ahead and create these classes, we don't want to, in the controller, when we go to the dog controller, here we say dog view model and we instantiate a dog view model. We don't want to create two lines here, one to instantiate the pet and one to instantiate the derived class dog. We want to use this very same line. So there's a very easy way that you could just instantiate a dog view model, and the dog view model will pass through the age, the name and the breed attributes through to the more abstract, the base class, without the code that instantiates the object having to know anything about the base class. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So we still pass in the age, the name and the breed into this constructor, but then we use this notation to say, okay, but just before we execute this code in this constructor, let's pass through the age, the name and the breed to the base class's constructor. So if you do this, the age, the name and the breed will be passed through to pet. It will come through here. Age, name and breed of the pet class will be initialized, and then it will come back and then execute this code which sets is guiding dog equal to the parameter that's passed through. Okay, so if we save there, now we're just going to apply exactly the same thing at cat view model. We say that cat view model inherits from the pet class. We remove all references to those three members. So in this case, number of lives is the unique attribute, and again we have to pass through the members that is destined for the base class. And there we go, simple as that. So here you can see we don't have any repetition of code. We're not repeating ourselves. So it's only in one place that we define the age, name and breed attributes, and then in dog we only have the attributes that are unique to dog, and in cat we only have the attribute that is unique to cat. And as discussed in the class, this has many benefits. On the front end, we have to make absolutely no changes whatsoever. On the cat controller, we absolutely make no changes again. So from this side, it's very easy to, you still interact with the class without knowing that inheritance applies there, and but the code behind is a lot easier to maintain. So let's run this and see. So when we go to cat, we still have our functionality there. Our cat list is still printed out perfectly well. Our dog list is still printed out perfectly well, and it is all done through inheritance without repeating code in different classes. That is it for this tutorial. See you next time.